Hi everyone in Maple. Firstly, I must apologise for not recording any chapters so far this week. I've had one of those weeks, sometimes where it's just full on, and I haven't recorded up until now, that is. So I'm going to record 3 chapters now for Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. I won't do them all in one video, obviously. But yes, that's where we are. So my apologies, and off we go. We are now on chapter 19. Mum's looking at me carefully as I stare glumly at my cereal, not eating it. She's holding her tea mug in both hands. It's just her and me. Steve is off on some residential course somewhere called New Directions in IT for Municipal Libraries, according to the flyer on the fridge, and Carly leaves early anyway, largely, I suspect, to avoid having breakfast with me and Mum. I don't feel well, it has to be said, but it's entirely down to having been up virtually all night. I don't think I fell asleep until about 5 o'clock. Are you well enough for school, Al? She asks. Now this one has to be played very carefully. I need to work out how to get back to the time machine, which means I don't want to go to school. But if I'm too eager to stay off, she'll think I'm faking it. If I sound too ill, like with a croaky voice or something, she'll think I'm faking as well. In short, almost anything I do will make her think I'm faking it. But I have one advantage. A year ago, I wasn't faking, and she packed me off to school anyway, and I threw up in assembly, and she had to come and collect me. That's like having one in the bank, and I have saved it up to spend wisely. I opt instead for the shrug. Now, what the shrug says is, I'm very poorly, in fact so poorly, I can't even be bothered to have an opinion on whether or not I'm too poorly for school, especially since last time I was too poorly for school. You sent me anyway, and I was sick all down Katie Pelling's back. It's a risky tactic, but it's working. I think you look awful, love. I'll go and get the thermometer. Best of all, I don't even have to spend the one I have in the bank, because I'm not even asking to stay off school. I have a feeling that I may need that one soon. Mum puts the thermometer in my mouth. Keep that there, love, and I'll be back in a tick, she says, and she leaves for the kitchen. Her mug of tea is on the table in front of me, and the minute her back is turned, I think I know what he's going to do. I dip the thermometer into it. I can see the red line climbing, and I figure I'd better not overdo it, or she might call an ambulance. By the time Mum's back, the thermometer's back in my mouth. She looks at it and shakes her head. You poor love, I knew you looked ill. For the next 20 minutes, Mum fusses me back into bed, making sure I have a glass of water, a bucket to be sick in, a sandwich in case I get hungry, and books to read. I can't take the day off, she says, but I'll try and leave early. You just get some rest and call me if you feel any worse. You'll be okay? I nod and smile wanly and wait for her to leave. But she stops at the door and wrinkles her nose. What's that smell? I can smell it too. Fox poo. Faint but distinct, and somewhere on the clothes that are still heaped by the side of my bed. I sniff, then say, sorry, that was me. Bad tummy. Mum sniffs again, then puts her head on one side and gives me her most sincere poor love look before leaving the room. The second the front door slams shut, I'm out of bed and on my laptop, searching the web for Einstein, theory of relativity, and time travel. 2 hours later and I'm asleep, head resting on one arm, the other hand still clutching the mouse, and I'm no closer to understanding it, although, 1. I had seen a cool cartoon on YouTube in which a talking cat, travelling at the speed of light, had his spaceship struck by 2 simultaneous lightning bolts. 2. I read a long article by that bloke who does the planets on TV entitled promisingly, Relativity for a Smart 12-year-old. Smarter than me, obviously, and without meaning to boast, I know I'm pretty smart. Well, at maths anyway. I had learnt that quantum physics means that one thing can exist in 2 places at the same time, but I still don't know why, or even how. I discovered Albert Einstein didn't learn to talk until he was 4 years old, and then he said out loud at the supper table, "This soup is too hot." I had scraped off the fox poo that was on my jeans, put them through a quick wash and tumble dry, and replaced them in my drawer. I sleep for ages, dreaming that I'm in a spaceship being chased by a police spaceship, dreaming about Einstein, about Jolly and Dancy, about everything and nothing all jumbled up together. And then, eventually, I sleep a deep, dreamless sleep. There we go. Well, he pulled it off, guys, didn't he? He's fooled his mum. Okay, well, I'll say bye for now. Get ready for the next chapter. Okay.